Hi, my name is Brennan Galley, and I'm the product specialist for Headrush pedal boards in Canada. And this video series that I'm shooting is to give you an idea of how easy and straightforward it is to build your own rigs with the Headrush pedal board. Please leave any comments and questions below. Please leave suggestions for videos because really that's how I learn, is by seeing how other people are using this, because there's so many different ways to approach this and I'm always appreciative of that. So now I'm going to go to the top right here and I'm going to go new rig. This is from the previous video I just shot. I've uploaded that to the Headrush effects.com website. They have an entire section there where people share their different rigs. So again, please take that, please manipulate it and do things with it. It would be really cool to see what you're up to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch where I want to put my rig. Now before I do that, I've done a bunch of videos that are in this linear setting that go from top to bottom. I've done a bunch of videos that are in this split down the middle, but I haven't done too many that are a split at the top. So I'm going to build a rig up top for you. Right now I'm just going to have the DI signal because there's no amp, there's no nothing. I'm going to take my input section right off the bat and just put the gate down to -120 because then I can do volume without it chopping off and gating the tone. So I have this double split. I'm going to say here that I want to put my amp at the very tail end, and I'm going to pick something that we haven't done before. And again, if you leave comments below, I'd love to see those because I'll try to dial up whatever you want me to do. So there's a Tread Modern. And as you're probably getting to know now, if I hold down the amp button, I can get every parameter available. So I can make my adjustments on the expression pedal to dial stuff up. Let's bring back the mids. Let's bring back the bass. Now, if I wanted to do smaller adjustments, I have the plus and minus here. Great for recordings. I have a USB in the back, so I can go directly into my computer, use this as an audio interface. It even has a reamp circuit in there, or a reamp channel, so I can reamp my stuff over and over again. A lot of freedom with recording. So now I've set the amp to a place where I want it to be. I'm going to go cab, and I'm going to work this too. Whoa, sounds good, eh? And again, I have my plus minus to bring it back. I could also, if I was doing this, I could also make my adjustments right here. So I can do my on axis, I can change my breakout, I can do my output gain. If I tap, then I get all the other options available too. There we go. And there's a little bit of a hum to this one because that's how the amp would be. Tap again to get up to the top. So now I have this split right off the top, and I can do a bunch of different things here if I want to. First off, I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to add an expression pedal to it, and we're going to do volume. And I'm going to say that I want to do it as default. There we go. If I push, now I'm on volume A. So I get that kind of control to it. I'm going to pick right here, and I'm going to say to it, like, hey, I want to do a dynamic EQ. So now I can do some side compression, and we're going to go, actually, instead of that, let's do dynamic compression. And I'm going to pick my hammer. So now, so I'm going to get a little bit more lengthier tone out of it. Turn it off. So nothing, turn it back on. And now if I hold it down, of course, I can work where that threshold is. I can work the attack. I want to get just to that point right there. That's nice, eh? Ratio's 4:1. The release. And then knee. So of course now, because it's compressed, that low hum, whoa, it really comes out, right? Even just the distortion comes out because it's compressing and lifting the noise forward. So it's behaving exactly like how it should in the real world. Now I can take this and I can change my threshold to cut off somewhere around there. So now, there we go. So now I have this gate threshold and it will stop. It's really sweet that that gate, the noise gate, is on the input section because it's not taking up one of my slots, right? It's something that I usually want there to have control over. And you can see that if I tap on it here, it's going to give me more options. So I get the USB level, I get the noise filter, threshold, and of course, the release, which is really important. So let's hear how that changes it. You know how there's that like little tuck at the end, right? Versus if I go down to like 1 millisecond. Right? So it's a little bit quicker that way, and I can explain that out. So how long that takes, just to give you the extreme. Still going, right? Of course, I can adjust that. I'm playing a lot of random notes, but really this video is not about my playing. It's about the actual pedal board. I really like how that's going. So now let's add another effect to it down below. And I'm going to say to here that I want to do some modulation. And we're going to do, I don't think I've shown vibrato in too many of my videos, so we'll pick that. And I'm going to go to this stereo chopper. So let's check it out. That's really strong, hey? So let's go with the vibrato. I'm going to change the rate. The depth, the width, and I'll sync it. Cool. So now we have those tones set up. I'm going to turn both of those off. So I have my compressor there, I have vibrato there, and now I'm going to work on stuff on the top section. Now if I want to see how the mix is between the two, I simply tap on mix and I can see that they're both set A and B are both set to -6, and it's panned rate. There's no pan to it either, but I could do that if I wanted to. So I could say, okay, let's pan that A 77 to the left, let's pan B 77 to the right, and you'll see how that works a little later. And actually for this application, I'm going to keep it right down the middle until I actually set it up. Just because for me, I'm monitoring in mono down here. Upstairs, it's in stereo, so what you can hear is stereo, but I just want to make sure I set the tone to a spot that I like it to be. So I'm going to go to the top section into A now, and I'm going to say that I want to add some, let's do more modulation. Let's do the orange phaser, and I'm going to do just default mono. So now, there's my control there. I really like how that sounds, and now I'm going to go here, and I can set the compressor before or after. So let's give it a listen and see how. We're going to go dynamic EQ, and I'm going to say to it that I want the gray compressor, and I'm going to go standard issue with it. That's cool. Now, if I wanted to, though, I could swap out the order and do the orange phaser there, compressor first. That's going to match more of what I have on that first channel I set up. Now here's a really cool thing. I could either take any parameter from there and assign it to the pedal board. I've shown that in other videos. Or I can go here and I can say to it that I want to put in a volume pedal just after the effect. So we're going to go default expression, and now that's on B, so you can see. Now I have both of those effects there, and I could add something else in there and just move it down the line. Which is a really cool way to get that signal flow happening. So now what I want to do is I want to set it up so that I have an on-off switch for all of that. So I'm going to go up to the top here. I'm going to go to my hardware assign. And now for... let's see what I don't want to use and what I don't want to see in the future or have available down below here. So with the volume pedal, it'll engage when I push into that section. So I don't need this volume 2. I'm going to go toggle until I get to a scene, and I'm going to say edit, and I'm going to say that it's going to turn on the gray compressor and the orange phaser, and it's going to turn off the dynamic compressor and the vibrato. So we'll go back here and I'll say that I want to call this effects. Oops, let's hit delete. Effects top. Oh, and it won't let me do that because I don't have enough letters. So we're going to go classic effects top. There we go. So now that one is called effects top, and I can see it right here. So now I want to have that switch. It's going to turn on and off the different effects, and now I want to go opposite with that. So again, I'm going to go to hardware assign, and all this stuff, it has nothing to do with the signal flow. So I can change any of these buttons to do what I want them to do. Next, I'm going to toggle my cab, because I'm not going to be changing my cab. I only have one cab in the setup. So I'm going to go to scene again. And for this one, I'm going to turn on dynamic compressor 2, turn on vibrato, and then turn off the gray compressor and the orange phaser. And I'll call this guy, let's call it FX bottom. Do I have enough letters for that? Let's see. There we go. Sweet. So now if I'm back in this screen, I can either turn on the effects top or I can turn on the effects bottom. So yeah, that gives you an idea of how to use the different types of splits. Also gives you an idea of how quickly it is to put these together. There's still 3 slots I didn't use, and I'm really satisfied with how that turned out. So what I'm going to do for you is up in the top here, I'm going to say that I'm going to go save new rig, and I'm going to call this top split. So there we go. We're going to save it into my set list there. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put it to headrusheffects.com, and I'm going to save it down, and I encourage you to take it. I encourage you to manipulate it to do something for your own needs. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below.